What's up, guys? Brave Belly here. Today on the channel, I'm reviewing the 24-hour combat rations from the Czech Republic. We have the breakfast, we have their lunch, and we do have their dinner. Hope you guys brought your appetite, because you know I did. We got a long episode, so buckle in, because we're going to eat everything here. All these three in one sitting. We're going to see if it's good as I hope it is. All right, without further ado, let's get it on. All right, so first things first, as far as the packaging, it's gusseted, so stands up. All right, it's green, nice little camo. And of course, we have the Czech Republic military logo, which is their crossed swords. And I think that's badass. Very simple, straightforward, puts you in the battle mood, okay? And so we do have some English, because after all, the Czech Republic are our NATO partners. It says breakfast, individual food ration pack. It has pork. Yeah, because I love pork, the other white meat. Energy supply, 4 hours. Okay, so you basically have this breakfast, then you have about 4 hours till you have the next one. And then the spoon is included, amongst other things about like storage, temperature, etc., etc. Yeah, so list of components, but we're going to open it up. I'm not going to be reading everything, you know. But yeah, so that's how it looks, and let's go. Had this in my house for like a year, just looking for the perfect moment to open it. Today, I'm in the mood for it, so here we go. Unbagging, this is how it looks. Boom. So we do have a Ziploc top. That way we could put food back in here. We could use this as a nice convenient garbage. And so yeah, or we could fill it with water. So yeah, not bad at all. Gonna set that aside, and this is all the ingredients for the breakfast. We have the crisp bread, very straightforward, right? Like that creamy brown, very military looking. Another crisp bread, so they both have protein, so crisp bread with protein, very interesting. Never heard of crisp bread with protein. Then we have, not sure what this is, guys. We're gonna open it up and see. We have a white biscuit. We have what appears to be their spoon. Let's check out the spoon firsthand. All right. And it comes with a napkin, so wooden spoon. Nice, super European. All right, that's pretty cool. We don't get this type of stuff in the US, so I'm excited about the wooden spoon out of all things. All right, let's see about this napkin. Good quality, large size, nice. So we have our little setup, okay, for breakfast. I do have a plate, and it looks like we have a pate, so I'm happy to have some pasztet jatrova. All right, so perhaps this is their pork pate, and it looks like maybe some kind of like pepper, so it probably is seasoned. So we got two crisp breads, one of these white biscuits, whatever is in here. Let's open this up and see what this is supposed to be. All right, it looks like a chocolate, so we're gonna set it aside. All right, it looks like it's bloomed, and smells nice and milky, so I will be having that. And let's see what we have for the bevs. Okay, so we have a toothpick. All right, nice wooden toothpick, classic. We have a wet towel. Let's see if it's any good. Smells very artificial. Doesn't smell too lemony. Maybe a touch of lemon, and it does have kind of like a chemical smell, like, you know, like a degreaser or something to clean your oven. So not the best. And also paper, you know, cheap paper falls apart. So there are better napkins out there, but anyway, it is what it is. We have an Earl Grey tea and 2 packets of sugar and a coffee. All right, so apparently the Czechs don't drink their coffee with creamer, but it is what it is. We're gonna give it a try. All right, so it looks like instant coffee that was freeze-dried, big old chunky pieces. Very straightforward, light in color. And let's just brew that right away. Not gonna add too much water, because usually countries that drink their coffees black, they like it nice and hard, like a stiff coffee. I don't drink my coffee that way. I like it with creamer, just creamer. Let's try it straight up. Yeah, it tastes like bitter black coffee, not how I normally drink it. So not much to say other than it's an instant black coffee. Okay, gonna have it with some sugar. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, I don't love it just because it's black. The sugar definitely helps. Gonna set it aside. Probably will have it with the chocolate. And then also let's see about this tea, Earl Grey. All right, I'm also not a tea drinker, but I'm doing everything in the provided breakfast. And so basically this is the little logo. Biogena and Camella. It is what it is. That doesn't say much for me. And a little bit of Earl Grey for breakfast. All right, gonna just teabag it because I want it to steep kind of faster. Set it aside, and let's see about these crisp breads, guys. Well, luckily for us, we don't have to cook, which is a nice touch, especially for breakfast. You just get up and eat. Unless you want some hot tea, then you're cooking. But all right, so this is how the crisps look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of crisps. Check them out. Never saw them looking like this. All right, just looks like an airy bread. Definitely on the crispy tip. Check it out, first bite. Really dense. I was expecting something way more airy. So it is crispy and somewhat denser than I expected. Not bad at all. They say there's protein in there, so perhaps that's why it's a little more dense. And you can see it's well seasoned, slightly salty. Okay. It has a weedy flavor. Definitely doesn't taste delicious, but there's not much to complain about. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. Doesn't taste stale or like cardboard or anything like that. Just like a weedy, crisp, slightly salty, maybe just a pinch of pepper or something like that. They're both the same. Just wanted to verify. All right, let me see about this white biscuit. Just out of curiosity, I wonder if I'm supposed to eat this first. No, it looks like a dessert. Okay, so we will have the desserts with the tea and coffee. But for now, we're gonna have the pate. And I'm looking forward to this. I haven't had pate in a while. And oh, look at that. All right, nice color, very appealing hue. Okay, doesn't look like it's a military pate. It looks like commercial almost. And what I mean by that, it's pretty. Okay, usually they're like gray in color, but we'll see how this one. And it slices very, very light. So it seems like this is very airy. Okay, which is also a nice touch. That's how I prefer my pates, like fluffy and airy, as opposed to like dense. All right, and so here we go. Oh yeah, I already know I'm gonna like this. Super light, not heavy in mineral flavor. Okay, very like mild. I would say this is a mild pate that's nicely aerated. Really good. Ooh. Yeah. Really, really delicious pate. The crisp, like I said, a little on the stiff side. Not bad at all. All right, let's try it with some of this tea. I can't stress enough how I enjoy these experiences because they're so different from what us Americans are usually used to. You know, Americans don't eat pate as often as Eastern Europeans, especially for breakfast. Okay, meat for breakfast is not like this. We definitely don't have it. So for me, this is a pleasant, change. So really nice experience so far. Yeah, not minerally at all. So if somebody hasn't tried pate, I would suggest something like this. okay? Just because it's not as like dank and intense, doesn't taste gamey at all. Really, really nice. All right, let's see about this Earl Grey. Really nice and smooth. Just tastes like a tea. I wouldn't know how to describe it too much, if I'm being quite honest, just because I'm not a regular tea drinker. So we will have it with sugar since they provided two, so they expect you probably to have it with sugar. And I'm using the tail end of the spoon because I don't want any meat in my tea. Let's go. Oh yeah, really nice. Okay, together with the pad thai. Nice experience for breakfast, I must say. And that's pretty much it. Now let's see about these little desserts that they give us. All right, so they give us a lot of crackers. So definitely could eat a lot more for breakfast, but since I'm eating all this food back to back, I want to pace myself. So let's see about this chocolate. So it looks like it cracked and it's blooming. And like I said, this has been in my house in Florida for a year. So don't judge how it looks. It is what it is. Tastes completely fine. Just a little aerated. Has a milky flavor. So it's not like dark chocolate, which I actually prefer it like this. I'm not a fan of dark chocolate. Together, this is a really nice smooth combination. Definitely smooths out this dark coffee. And you see me chewing it, but it's only because it's very like airy. Okay, so it's very like light. Okay, I'm not like chewing this dense chocolate. This is kind of like aerated. It's really nice. $8 chocolate. It just shows you guys how much I like milk chocolate. My favorite. So it's nice to see that the Czech Republic is also a fan of sweet, delicious chocolate, not bitter chocolate, which is not my favorite. All right, and so it looks like these are like some kind of crackers with like a white chocolate on top. All right, they're stuck together. It's two of them stuck together. First bite going in. Okay, so these crackers definitely, or biscuits, they taste slightly more airy than these. You could see the difference. Okay, I guess because these are the protein, quote unquote, ones. Maybe that's why they're dense. And these are just regular crisps. So more pleasant, okay? I like these more. And of course that sweet vanilla, just a little bit, all right? So it's not overwhelming. As you can see, the bottoms aren't like completely covered. So it's a nice balance. Now, how would you guys have this with the tea or coffee? It does taste good that way. Let's see about it with this. Too bitter for me. This almost tastes like tar, all right, with a pinch of sugar. With this, it's way more smoother. And I'm not a tea drinker, so that just goes to show you how much I don't like that dark chocolate. I mean that dark coffee. But yeah, really nice. Just tastes like a vanilla chocolate or a white chocolate with a little crisp. And you know what? I must say there's almost like a touch of like brightness to it. You know, almost like if it has like a little bit of lemon in there or something like that. It just says a white biscuit, doesn't say anything about it, but it just tastes like bright and really pleasant, okay? So that was my favorite part of the breakfast, was that white biscuit, all right? The pastète, from a 1 to a 10, I give it a solid 8, right? And then we're gonna move on. Gonna clean up real quick as much as I can. And then it's time for lunch. All right, so moving along. All right, time for lunch, guys. Boom, lunchtime. So it says this one has beef, 4 hours of energy as well. There's a provided heater to heat the food, and it also includes a spoon. All right, check it out, and let's go. That's how everything looks like at first glance, and boom. Beef, meat, and rice. So it has some English, which always makes things more convenient. All right, for me. We have the heater and a sleeve. Check out their heater. And we're gonna throw it in right now just to expedite the whole process. So apparently we're supposed to just tear here. It says tear here with arrows. There we go. Bear with me, guys. Okay, finally have it. So we're gonna put the meal in. Let me knead it just a little bit, okay? So it can kind of aerate, and fluff, especially the rice. I don't want it to slide out just like a slab, but I think I'm doing it right. Same thing. This packet is gusseted, so that makes things convenient. You could eat it out of the bag. I'm gonna put it on the plate just so you guys could see everything, better presentation, but nonetheless. Whoa, so look how clever. I guess they put a piece of like glue on one side, and so that makes it impossible to slide it in from that end. So apparently this is the way to go, which is pretty cool. I never seen that. Kind of idiot-proofed it, you know what I mean? It's my first time. What do you expect with this thing, okay? So the fill line is right there, and let's fill it up. Ice cold water to fill it up, but that's the only water that I have on hand. And it's so easy to overfill, so you gotta be careful. And there we have it. That looks like it's just right, guys. All right, so I'm gonna fold it over like it says, and it comes with a little piece of tape. Look at that. I'm gonna tape it down. Doesn't help much since I wet it all, but that's all right. I'm just gonna put it in the sleeve. All right. All right, so we'll set that aside and let it heat up and let it do its magic while we see the rest of what's in the bag. All right, so then we have beetroot, pumpkin, and peas. Interesting. So looks like some kind of soup maybe. Then we have a dessert, and on the dessert, there's no English whatsoever, so surprise, surprise, we're gonna have to find out. We have another spoon. This looks like something that you could get from like a IKEA store, you know what I mean? Like the simple design, really cool. Same deal, we got the wooden spoon and the napkin. Then we have instant fruit drink, nice, so no more tea. Oh no, there's tea. And then we have another one of their little chocolates that I actually enjoyed, so happy to see that again. All right, looks like their accessory packet has the same thing, which is 2 packets of No, this is a packet of salt. So we got salt for the food. We have chewing gum. Check that out. We have another coffee. We're gonna set that aside. Enough coffee for the day. We have a sugar packet, 2 sugar packets, and a wet nap and a toothpick. Okay, so we'll set that aside. We already seen the wet nap. And let's see about, what are we gonna open up first? Let's see about this and the beverage, all right? So beverage going down right now. Check it out, that's how it looks. And nothing in English other than instant fruit drink. So wonder what flavor they have. Smells very fruity, but I can't tell you what fruit that smells like. Just big old sugar granules. Yeah, it's hard to say just off the smell. Could be lemon. Smells a little bright, so it could be citrusy. Let's find out. Yep, looks like a lemonade if I was gonna guess. And it is heating up, but not the best, I would say, only because I believe this is expired. So usually these expired rations, the heater also expires and stops working. We'll give it a few more minutes. Otherwise, I'll just heat it up in a different way. Luckily for me, I brought a heating stove. All right, let's see about this Bev. Large sugar crystals. All right, it would take a while to dissolve this. It would be a lot easier if I just poured it in a canteen, shuck it up and drunk it, but we're just gonna do it like this. Looks like I got some floaties here. Let me get that out. I don't know what that is. It's whatever. Let's taste the beverage. Oh yeah, lemon. Lemon, but not overly sweet, okay? More lemony than sweet, that's for sure. Let's let that kind of melt a little bit more and see what we have in here. This is their little dessert. I have no idea what's in here. Okay, nice. We have a little trail mix. So a little snacking trail mix. We have almonds in here. We have cashews. We have hazelnuts. We have, okay, so it's premium. It looks like perhaps it's pumpkin seeds. We have freeze-dried or dried pineapple. So yeah, real nice snack that you could eat on the go or just while you wait. So I'm gonna snack on this right now. Wow, we even have walnuts. So a little bit of everything. I like to see that. They didn't cheap out. Must say tastes a little on the dry side, which it's supposed to be, but what I mean is kind of like dusty, a little expired. That looks like a sliver. Yeah, this is like a sliver of coconut. Not bad at all. A little bit of everything. Oh yeah, good stuff. Definitely nice calories, lots of fats and sugars. Yeah, it is definitely heating up, but it's not crazy, you know, just light. So we have to practice our patience with that one. We're gonna open this up. We're gonna see what this is all about. If this is their soup, I have something super cool to show you guys. Check this out. This is the Czech Republic pots and pans. I don't know, this little set, but this is actually Czech military. And when I saw it, I had to get it. I thought it's really cool. I had this for years already. Just haven't had time to use it because I use the British stove the most. It's the most convenient. And guys, check this out. One of the other reasons why I got it, this actually has the same kind of the Czech military seal, right? Their little logo with the crossed swords. And I think it's badass. I love seeing that, all right? I'm a visual person. To me, seeing something just as minor as crossed swords, I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty badass. All right, so that's what it's looking like. So we have 2 pots and a top. This didn't come with it, but I guess whoever sold it put that on and it fits perfectly. We have a nice little top for this one. You could use this as a bowl. And let's see how what this is supposed to be. All right, wow, this is not what I expected. Okay, this looks, oh wow, this smells like beets. Okay, so this is beets. I don't think I need to heat this up. I think this is room temperature. So I jumped to conclusions. Oh yeah, that's exactly what this is. Maybe you guys from the Czech Republic would heat this up. Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna eat this room temperature just because I've had beets many times and I eat them actually cold. So I think it's a little bit overkill, especially if you're in the military and you're on the go in training. If this is edible cold like this, why not? All right, so it looks like we have some kind of green beans in here and diced up and minced beets. All right, so we're gonna have that alongside the main meal, but we're gonna try this first while we wait for that. Just gonna give it a taste. All right, so first bite, super ethnic, and I love stuff like this. Going down. Cheers. This literally tastes like I got it from a European supermarket. Absolutely perfect. Would never know in a million years that this came out of a military pouch. Not at all. Really nice, really pleasant. Has a little bit of tartness, like some vinegar, and it's very sweet, you know, from the beets. Super delicious. Never had anything like this from a military ration, so this is an amazing experience so far. Forgot about these. Let me finish that and set it to the side. I mean, not gonna lie, it is warm, but it's not piping hot. You know what? I'm just gonna eat it the way it is. We don't have to go crazy here because being that it's military food, nothing's gonna be perfect, okay? And this also happens in the American military foods as far as when the food expires, the heating element usually stops working. So we're just gonna have it like this, not be babies about it, all right? So that's looks like their rice and their beef. Check it out, and it smells really nice, okay? Wow, you can see the beef is intense, like really nice color. All right, so we have a nice contrast, and that's what it's looking like. This is the entire packet right here. Check it out up close. The smell is really nice, all right? Really beefy, smells like it's seasoned properly, all right? Let me just mince it and kind of like mix it all up. We're gonna have it, of course, with the beets on the side, but just want flavor in every bite, so gonna mix it up a little bit. And must say, never seen rice like this. This rice is definitely a little bit different. Okay, so let me show you up close. Check that out with the beef. All right, first bite going in. Not bad at all. Tastes very beefy. I'm surprised there's not much fat in here. It's just muscle. So, oh yeah. Almost no fat, so it definitely tastes a little on the dry side. Gonna look for that salt. Where did I put the salt? Maybe bring some of that flavor out. Yeah, all right. Salt usually does that, so just a little bit. Now I must say, does this taste like homemade? Definitely not. All right, more like cafeteria, something like that. As far as the flavor, doesn't taste like industrial or heavy on chemicals, but it's also not like absolutely delicious either. A little on the dry side. From a 1 to a 10, I give this like a 6.5. All right. The best aspect of this is the actual beef. But being that it's so lean, it definitely tastes dry, okay? It doesn't have like that rendered taste, okay? So a little on the dry side. Nonetheless, not bad at all. We're gonna have it with some of these beets. Guys, the beets are 10 out of 10. Super surprised about that. Good stuff. Together, the mix is phenomenal. We have that that meaty flavor from the beef. Like I said, a little bit on the dry flavor side because it's so lean. Then we have that contrast with the rice, the seasoned rice, a little bit, maybe like tomato. Just a hint. All right, so it's not overbearing like tomato sauce. No, not at all. Just a little hint. And then you have that contrast with the vinegar and the sweetness of the beets and peas. This definitely takes it there. All right. Now, maybe this is not the proper way to eat it because it turns it all into a slop. But guess what? It's just going to make everything more moist. Really nice. Can't stress enough how much the beets take this to the next level. What a pleasant experience. Now, I promise you guys for the dinner, if it's not heating up, I definitely will put it over a little fire. So don't you worry. Now, as you can see, I'm wolfing it down because I'm starving. And it's actually hitting the spot. Especially that beautiful contrast. You know, that vinegar and the sweetness. So, really good experience. Gonna set that aside. Time for some dessert. All right, so now we have the sugar dissolved in this thing. And definitely got to change what I rated it. It's substantially sweeter now that the sugar is nice and dissolved. So it tastes like a pleasant lemonade. Really nice. Now it's a lot more sweeter, okay? And not too tart, just a little bit. Really, really good. As far as a lemonade goes, if the best lemonade I ever had was a 10, give this one like a 9 easily, okay? I would prefer if it was just slightly more tart, but other than that, it's really, really nice. All right, let's see about this little chocolate. Wonder if it's the same one. And yep, it looks like this is the same exact chocolate bar, so not gonna eat the whole thing, but as you can see, it's blooming, which is fine. And again, it's like very aerated, so it's pleasant to bite into, okay? You're biting into, it's not just dense, it has little pockets of air, so it makes it like more pleasant to chew on. And guys, this one indeed does taste more like it's dark chocolate. I don't know if I'm bugging or not, but for some reason it tastes darker. Okay, so the first one might have had more creamer and more sweetener in it. This one has less. So yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting it from it now. And yeah, I don't, like I said before, I don't love dark chocolate. Let's see about this gum. Wash down that bitter flavor. Guys, the beets were so good. Oh, let me try, you know what? Just crossed my mind. Let me try this with some of those protein crackers, quote unquote. I mean, after all, they gave so many, why not, right? So let's see about this. Oh yeah, really nice. There's more like salt, all right? So the salt and kind of like the carbs in this give it a different experience, a little more depth. Real good. It definitely helps a bit. Oh yeah, so now this one has a little bit of meat, a little bit of rice, a little bit of that juice from the beets. Nice. And now, mind you, as a soldier, you'd want to mix stuff just because everything would taste repetitive after a while. So you'd probably want to play around with the different ratios and mixing things all together. All right, guys, we still have dinner. Don't you forget it. All right, let's see about this gum. We have two big old nice sizable pieces of chiclets. Check them out, nice and healthy size. If I was gonna guess, they're peppermint. Let's see. Yep, peppermint. Ooh, they're strong. So strong. This is like toothpaste. That's how intense it is. So this is definitely more for like having a clean mouth feeling, dirty mouth. This is what you need, okay? So this is not like a pleasant chewing gum. This is like you're freaking chewing toothpaste, so super intense. It's almost curling my eyelashes. Gonna move on from that. So I would say it's a good quality, nice gum. It has a nice outer shell, good crunch to it. But overall, even though it's great, it's not like pleasant, okay? It's like just like toothpaste, all right? Time for dinner. Okay, it says meatballs, all right? So it looks like a mix of pork and beef meatballs. We have another 4 hours of energy, another provided heat packet, and a wooden spoon. And that's what it's looking like. Let's see about this. Now, don't you worry, like I said, this one I'm definitely gonna heat up proper. And that's what it's looking like. So time for dinner. All right, what do we have? We have light crisp bread, okay? So as opposed to the other one, which was more dense because it was protein, this one's a light one. We have another one, so two of them, two light crisp breads. We have pea soup. Awesome. This is their accessory packet. I'll open that in a second. We have their meatballs, tomato sauce, and pasta. Okay, another gusseted pack so we can stand up. And we have the heater, the sleeve, the spoon, the napkin, and the dark biscuit. Okay, so earlier we had the vanilla one. This is a dark one. Let's see what's in the accessory packets. We have a sugar, another Earl Grey, a chewing gum, a salt, a wet wipe, and an isotonic. All right, so these all repeated themselves. We're gonna see about this isotonic. I hope it's not lemon. Although I like lemon, I like variety. If I was gonna guess, this looks like lemon to me. But it is what it is. Usually isotonics are lemon. All right, so let's wait for this to dissolve a little more and let's start heating this food up. Jeez. All right. I'm gonna slide it in again. This time I'm gonna use hot water. And they say not to use hot water because it these things could explode. But being that they're not so working so intensely, maybe that'll give it a little help that it needs. All right, so let's see about this one. All right, I'm gonna tape it down. Okay. And I could feel this one seems like it's gonna get a lot hotter. Maybe it's just that hot water. Again, that beautiful crossed swords. And yeah, see, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but it's definitely sound like it's doing its magic. Sounds hotter, like it's working better. Oh yeah, as you can see the steam. So that just goes to show you guys how the military rations work. You know, not everything's perfect. We got lucky with this one. All right, we're gonna let that do its magic. Let's have some of this pea soup. All right, and instant pea soup. There we have it. Ooh, nice and green in color. It looks like just powder, so this is probably good just to have it inside this packet. Just add hot water and sip on it on a cold day. But I want to show you guys how it all dissolves and how it looks. So that's why I put it in these bowls and on these plates. All right, just gonna eyeball everything because it's military, you know, nothing's perfect. Let's have that dissolve a little. Oh yeah, and it's looking like it's gonna be nice and thick, just the way I like it. Yeah, it's doing its thing. So definitely smells nice. Okay, smells like there perhaps is like, looks like some kind of croutons or something, but maybe not. Maybe that's just little, yeah, that's little pockets of a powder that isn't quite dissolved yet. So it looks a little chunky. Guys, take a look, all right? Nice, looking forward to that. Gonna have it with this crisp. Why not? So look at the difference, what I said earlier. So this is the airy crisp. You see how nice and airy it is? And crispy, all right? Really nice. Maybe just like a hint of salt, but not too much. All right, looks like it's seasoned. Little pepper maybe. Really nice. Way better than like the protein tasting ones, okay? The protein tasting ones are too dense, in my opinion. Let me show you guys a comparison. So probably they start off as very similar, if not the same product. And then the different processes turn it different. So yeah, as you can see, the big difference. All right, let's see about this soup, guys. First bite going down. Nice. Really salty, almost like a bouillon, you know? So it definitely is seasoned right. So definitely fills your body with like the electrolytes that it lost, or at least salt. That's for sure. Has that like pea kind of green flavor, which is nice. Let's see about it with this cracker. Oh yeah, that definitely adds to it. Nice. Now I must say the spoon is a little shallow for eating soup, so I guarantee you guys mostly drink this. And girls, because I know the Czech military definitely has both sexes represented. Beautiful women in the Czech Republic, by the way. I was in Prague about 15 years ago. Had an amazing time. Definitely would want to visit again. This time, not to party, okay? Just to the sightseeing. I want to go to the military museum. Maybe I could even tour the Česká zbrojovka military arms store and factory. If that's a possibility, that would be a pleasure because the CZ firearms are amongst one of my favorites. So yeah, I've had better soups before. Okay, so not much to say. From a 1 to 10, I give this soup like a 5.5. but at the same time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just very, very simple. It has like that green flavor, okay? Almost like, tastes like a chicken bouillon with like that earthy, grassy kind of taste, you know? So nothing to write home about, but it's a nice kind of warm up to your dinner. And all right, let's see about these meatballs. Looks like it stopped working, but it's warm enough, guys. We don't have to go crazy here. This is military food after all, and this is what it is. All right, so it looks like this is kind of, what does that say? A pasta. Okay, so we have a pasta with tomato sauce and meatballs. Really nice. Okay, and I smell that tomato sauce automatically, so nice and strong in scent. All right, definitely smells enticing. And then the tomato sauce actually looks very appealing. It looks like, you know, greasy, like it's very nicely flavored. Gonna just mince up that pasta a little bit better. And this is what it's all looking like, okay? So we got that oily tomato sauce. Looks like some minced onions perhaps in there. We have the pork and beef and the pasta, all right? First bite going down, all right? Wow, the tomato is definitely nice flavor. But I must say, overall, this does taste like something that came out of a packet, okay? So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It comes with the territory. From a 1 to a 10, I give this like a 6.5 on its best day. Only because I don't like tomato-based products that come out of a pack or a can. And this is what it tastes like, okay? As far as the meatballs, they're a little bit on the dry side. Take a look at how they look, very dense, okay? So not the most like pleasant meatballs I've ever had in a ration. Some of them usually contain more fat, so it's more kind of like savory, and this is not really that savory. The pasta is just there, but especially because it's just so fine, these little small balls, it almost like a rice or it could be anything. The best thing out of all this, I would say, is definitely that tomato sauce. It's quite nice. It doesn't taste like Chef Boyardee. It tastes like higher quality tomato sauce than what's typical out of a pouch. So that's nice. But nonetheless, just very mid, I would say. From a 1 to a 10, like I said, probably like a 5.5 on its best day. Gonna have some with the airy crisp. And I must say, I think I enjoyed the lunch a little more, but it is what it is. Gonna move on. Let's see about this isotonic. Wow. Very, very weird isotonic. Doesn't taste sweet. Almost no flavor. Wow. Never had an isotonic. Close to just tasting like water, if I'm going to be honest. Almost no flavor whatsoever. So very surprising. If the most intense isotonic is a 10, as far as like intensity of flavor, I give this a 1. Barely there. Crazy, I didn't even use that much water. All right, gonna see about this dark biscuit. Looks like we tried everything. All right, so this is the dessert before you go to sleep, before it's time to go to bed. And Same thing as the breakfast. You know, the airy crisp, but this time with a chocolate outside. Let's go. Okay, not bad at all. Like I mentioned before, dark chocolate, so I'm not the hugest fan. So it has that bitter flavor. More of a grown-up flavor. Not bad though, has a good crisp to it. Honestly, there's really nothing to change about it. It's actually quite good if you like dark chocolate. All right. For me personally, from a 1 to a 10, I give this like a 4. If I could, I would try to gather all these dark chocolate ones and try to trade with the guys for the vanilla one. Still, nice to have something sweet at the end. Finish the day off. Replenish with the isotonic. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you stayed around for this long, thank you so much for watching. Many more videos to come from countries all over the world. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, signing off.